Ferris Live. I'm Jason Dede, an Assistant Director of Admissions at Ferris State. Thank you all for joining us today. Please note we are recording this presentation and we ask that you mute your audio. Today, Explore Ferris Live is all about our community at Ferris State, and we're featuring guests from the Office of Multicultural Student Services and the Center for Latino Studies. We ask that throughout today's event, you utilize the chat feature to ask any questions that you might have. Now, I'll welcome the folks from the university participating today. First, my colleague from the Office of Admissions, Jeff Stewart.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Stewart. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions Recruitment here at Ferris, and I'm so excited to have you guys join us today, and hopefully we can explore what great things Ferris has to offer.
Thanks, Jeff. And also joining us today, Dr. Matthew Cheney. He's the Director of the Office of Multicultural Student Services at Ferris State University, and Kaylee Moreno-Burke, the Executive Director of the Center for Latino Studies at Ferris State University. Hi, Matt and Kaylee. All right, we'll get going. I think the best way for us to introduce these aspects of our community to our guests today is to kind of give an overview of the Office of Multicultural Student Services and the Center for Latino Studies. So we'll first turn to Dr. Cheney. Dr. Cheney, if you could tell us a little bit about the work that you do and the resources you offer through the Office of Multicultural Student Services.
Certainly. Thank you, Jason and Jeff, for having me. It's always a pleasure to have an opportunity to speak to potential students. Again, my name is Matthew Cheney. I'm the Director of the Office of Multicultural Student Services. Our office was created in April of 1986. And basically, it was created to ensure that the educational opportunities for our underrepresented student populations on the campus are as rewarding as possible. We created a mission statement, and I'll share that mission statement. I'll read it. I don't have it committed to memory. But it says, OMSS, the Office of Multicultural Student Services, promotes the intellectual understanding and appreciation of diversity, inclusion, and social justice by creating opportunities for learning and leadership development for our campus community. In addition, we provide meaningful support to assist in the transition, retention, and graduation of our underrepresented student populations. And so basically on campus, we have a beautiful location. We're located in the Flight Library on the main floor, Suite 159. We have a wonderful lounge area where students have an opportunity to come, network with each other's student leaders on campus that are a part of many student organizations. They frequent our office to come plan their events and activities for the campus community. And so basically, we're here to serve students in a variety of different capacities and to create a welcoming environment and a home away from home environment for the students that we serve. And so we have 5 pillars of service in our office, and the first one is advocacy. We advocate for students. On occasion, students come in with various needs and different issues that they're dealing with on campus, whether it's personal issues, whether they're homesick, or whether they're just having some difficulty in the classroom, or maybe even with a particular instructor or department, and they just feel like they need a little extra support. We're here to advocate for students in that capacity, and we see students in that vein. We also, our second pillar is leadership development. In terms of leadership development, we run a program through our office called TOWERS. TOWERS stands for Teaching Others What Establishes Real Success. And it's a leadership development program. We meet bi-weekly in the evenings, and we talk to students about just that, leadership development, how to be leaders not only as students, but also in their respective careers that they will embark on once they graduate. Mentorship. We mentor students. I see a host of students one-on-one for a variety of mentorship issues. My entire staff actually does. And then we also run a mentorship program called Be Men, which is the Black Male Empowerment Network. And that program also meets bi-weekly. And we just talk about issues about what it means to be successful for our Black male student population. Cultural awareness. Our office we have the pleasure of planning the lion's share of the cultural event or cultural heritage celebrations for the entire campus community. And so we plan events for Hispanic Heritage Month, Native American History Month, MLK in January, Black History Month, Women's History Month, Asian Awareness Month, and so on. And we also, again, partner with students for a variety of different conversations, deliberative dialogue conversations. We do events called Conversations on Race on campus to talk about social justice issues. And so cultural awareness is a big piece of the work that we do in the office as well. And then the last piece is college access. My office, we run a college access program. Some of you may be familiar with our college access program, which is called Gear Up. And Gear Up stands for, it's a pre-college program that stands for Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Programs. And it's a federal and state-funded initiative to create a college-going culture among students from middle school to high school and to prepare them and also their parents for college. And so we provide a variety of different activities for the school districts that we service in. And so we create that college-going culture amongst that population of students. And so that's a pretty brief overview of the work that we do. We're excited about the work that we do. I have an excited staff that's there to that's passionate about working with students and student development. And so again, it's a home away from home atmosphere, and we love that. You don't have to necessarily have an appointment to come in our office because we have a lounge area that's specifically for the students. Again, so students come in, they hang out in between classes, where they have sofas and computers they can get on and flat screen television they can watch. And they come in and they engage in dialogue, they just relax, you name it. And so we like that atmosphere, and we encourage students once you arrive to campus to frequent the office and make it your home. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Jason for questions.
Thank you, Dr. Cheney. Certainly, and as we progress here this afternoon, we'll find out more about the different resources and support services that those pillars support through your office. But now let's pivot and turn to Kaylee Moreno-Burke. Kaylee is the Executive Director of the Center for Latino Studies at Ferris State University. Welcome, Kaylee, and please tell us about the work that you do.
Thanks for having me on here today. I love connecting with students. It's probably the best part of my job, and so I'm excited that even though this is virtual, I'm still able to connect with all of you, potentially future Bulldogs. So I'm an alumni of Ferris State, and part of my student career, I actually helped to create the center that I now run. And so at the Center for Latino Studies, we help students really focusing on your cultural identity and cultural background, about how can you emerge as leaders and how can you leave a lasting footprint on the campus that you're on, in the classrooms that you're in, and the student organizations that you're involved in. And so we do this by helping students get to and through college by building on their cultural identity and understanding what that cultural identity means and how that can be a strength in helping you to set yourself out differently as a student in whichever program that you're enrolled in, as well as in your career after you graduate from Ferris State University. There's a couple of different programs and different services that our office offers to target this in different ways, because not all of our programs might be an exact hit for you. That's why we offer a variety of opportunities to engage in our office. Some of those are in our pre-college programs. We have a middle school STEM and college awareness program called Promesa Avancemos. We have a pre-college program that I think I'm going to talk about a little bit more in depth later called Promesa Summer Success, which is for high school students to earn free college credit through Ferris State University. We're offering that again this summer. And we have our Promesa Scholars program, which is a intensive academic leadership program on our campus, and our Amigos de Promesa Scholars, which is a internship readiness program that we partner with local businesses that are very much interested in connecting and building a Latinx workforce to better serve our communities. Other ways that we support our campus is, aside from our direct programming, is that we support our Latinx-based student organizations. We're excited that members of our Promesa Scholars community have helped to create 3 brand new Greek organizations on our campus. the Sigma Lambda Betas, Fraternity, International Fraternity Incorporated, Sigma Lambda Gamma Sorority International Incorporated, the Signets, which is a new group that is organizing on campus, and hopefully we're excited to hopefully see them cross into an official Greek organization in the fall, as well as our Hispanic student organization. So these different groups, they cross-collaborate with each other, but we help to support, and they provide different student supports in different ways across our campus, socially and academically. We also offer student employment through our office. We generally employ about 10 student employees in our office every school year, as well as take on a number of interns from different academic departments. So that's just a very quick overview of some of the services that we offer, ways that we can connect. We also have a student lounge for students just to get connected. When you enter our space, you'll see lots of color, really reminiscent of Latinx culture and heritage. You'll be surrounded by Latinx art, as well as images of those that have come before us and our ancestors, because we really resonated on the idea that we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. This is what they fought for, to give us this chance and this opportunity. And we like to harness that energy in our office as we continue to support students through their academic journey.
Kaylee, thank you. Really some great work that both you and Dr. Cheney are doing through your offices. And at this time now, we ask that all of our guests participating, if you have questions for our panelists today, if you'd like to learn more about the Office of Multicultural Student Services or the Center for Latino Studies, please use the chat feature to pose your questions, and we'll get to those. While we're waiting for some questions, I'm going to turn back to Dr. Cheney from OMSS. Matt, when you start the year and you have a lot of new students on campus, what are some of your primary objectives, and what are the things that you do to help our new freshman students feel comfortable in their new environment? I know we've worked together long enough that that you'll get students on campus and they might show up and say, hey, where's everybody that looks like me? Or where are people that might have some of the same concerns that I have? How do you address those at the start of a school year, or at any point, really?
Well, that's a wonderful question. Actually, we have a couple events that we do at the kickoff at the start of the school year. We do one event for our students called Transitions to Success. It's like our own version of freshman orientation for underrepresented student populations. And so in that event, we expose students to faculty on campus that are here to support them. Also the different available resources that are available to the students on our campus. And so I know we do a great job as an institutional university-wide to share that information, but it's always important to reiterate that information, or reshare it, I should say, with our students, to make sure that it's ingrained so that students know what resources are on campus to support them, because we know research shows that students that utilize their resources on campus tend to be the most successful students on campus. And so then we also do an activity or an event that we sponsor every year. It's kind of our tradition called Get Acquainted Day. And that event is an opportunity for the lion's share of the student organizations, particularly student organizations that service underrepresented student populations. They set up resource tables. We also reach out to departments. They set up resource tables. And it's a very fun and festive event where students can walk around and gather information as they see fit, particularly organizations that they may be thinking about joining as they matriculate through the university. And so those are just a couple events that we do at the kickoff of the school year.
All right, thank you, Dr. Cheney. And Kaylee, I'll come to you with that same type of question. How do you try to introduce new students to Ferris, to your office and the organizations that you support and the resources that are available? How do you help that transition for our new students through the CLS?
Yeah, great question. So one of the ways that we do this once you're on our campus is we host a CLS open house. So it's a chance to meet and greet with the Latinx-based student organizations, our office. We call it coffees, conchas, and conversations. So if you like traditional conchas, we get them from Grand Rapids and Holland bakeries. We're excited to support local bakeries from communities that our students come from. So grab a concha, get some coffee. Sometimes we have abuelita hot chocolate available, frescas con crema. So really a chance to make sure you get a chance to get some of those really delicious foods one more time before while coming onto our campus. And we work with our catering services to start offering some more of those traditional foods that you might crave once you're on our campus as well throughout the academic school year. But aside from just getting started on campus, you can find us at Get Acquainted Day, a number of the events that Dr. Cheney had talked about. But we love getting involved with students before they're even on our campus. And so I'm going to take a chance and share my screen and walk you through a way to get connected with our office this summer if you are a junior in high school. And so let me see if I can still do this correctly. Awesome. So on our website, if you're interested in getting connected with the Center for Latino Studies or getting an early sneak peek of what does it mean to be a Ferris State student.
Hey, Kaylee, I want to interrupt for just a moment. Could you take us back to the beginning, how you got to that page from the university's homepage?
Yeah. Awesome. So once you're on the university's homepage, you can actually either just type ferris.edu or you can type in ferris.edu/Latino, and you can get to our website directly. If you also search Center for Latino Studies with the @ you should be able to find our website as well. So once you're here, this is our About page, a little bit of information about us. You can see some of our Promesa scholars. We were nationally recognized for this leadership program by Excelencia in Education. So there were only 6 programs across the nation that were selected as the top serving programs for helping Latino students to be successful, and our program was one of those top 6 programs across the nation this year. So something we were very excited about. But to get involved with the center, starting with our Promesa Summer Success Program, if you scroll down, you can see our different Promesa pathways that I quickly introed earlier. And if you click on our Promesa Summer Success one, you can see this is our high school level of engagement program. And here you can learn a little bit more about our free 8-week program this year that is going to be operating fully online. And so you don't have to worry about coming in person. We're keeping our communities safe as we continue to push on through our educational career sets. But it's an 8-week college program focusing on math and reading skills to be successful once you're in college. In order to participate, you have to at least be a junior in high school, have a GPA near a 2.5, and a commitment to improving your math and reading and college readiness skills. So over the course, you will take 7 college credits. So again, that's a huge value if you're thinking about what it costs to go to college and you're wondering about how do I pay for that. This is a great chance that you'll have to earn some college credit early. You also can earn a $1,000 renewable scholarship to Ferris State University if you choose to come our way once you've graduated high school, as well as get a preview of what does these Ferris classes look like, what are some of the platforms that you'll have to use. So we use, similar to like a Blackboard, we use a program called Canvas. You'll get a chance to get familiar with that before you're on our campus and make sure you have a really great head start.
Kaylee, who can participate in this program?
Anyone is eligible. We focus our program in Holland, Grand Rapids, and Oceana County. But because we're delivering this program online, we're able to expand our outreach to anybody who's interested in participating this summer. You would need to be able to get to Grand Rapids, Holland, or Oceana County in order to pick up your textbooks. So once you apply and you're accepted and you know that you can get to one of those areas, we will send you our kickoff location where we'll be dropping off all of our summer program materials. And again, making sure that we're keeping everybody safe through distributing our program materials. So we provide all the textbooks, we provide notebooks, pens, pencils, some Ferris swag for you in order to be successful in the program. But you do need close to a 400 math SAT score. So making sure you contact your high school counselor to make sure you have that PSAT or SAT score that's around a 400 in order to participate. Down here we have our schedule for the program. All of our classes will be utilizing Zoom to just have that online presence. So we're not going to have everything just you log in, do the information, but we'll actually be teaching our classes online via the Zoom platform. So you still get that face-to-face interaction with Ferris instructors. You're going to click apply here, and this will take you to our interest form to get us some basic information to be able to connect with you in here and be able to send you that acceptance letter once you apply and turn in all of your materials. And then you'll follow through after this page and fill out an application that looks very, very similar to the Ferris State University application. So it's a great chance to preview what does it look like, what kind of questions are going to be asked of me when I apply to any college, but specifically when I go to apply to Ferris, what does that application look like? And you get a head start in understanding what that, what all that involves and what kind of things you should be expecting from that.
Well, really a wonderful program, developing and sharpening skills, earning credit that transfers and counts towards your degree at Ferris State, and earning a scholarship, all through participation in the ProMesa program. That's terrific. And I know it's certainly been growing since its inception. And I look at the picture here that you're sharing right now, and I see Valeria, who works in our office, one of your members there, and a lot of really fine students. And one of the things I've noticed through my interaction with students in your office and that are involved in these programs is how active they are in trying to engage other students to become, to participate more and to get involved. And on the idea of getting involved, I kind of want to shift back to Dr. Cheney for a moment here. Matt, you talked a lot about the different student organizations that are within the Office of Multicultural Student Services are housed there, but can you share a little bit about how important it is to engage and get involved with other students when you're on campus, not just for your personal and social well-being, but how that can have an impact academically as well?
Well, you know, I always, you know, again, our office is a very high octane office, and we do support quite a few student organizations, and probably too many to name. And I'm going to go just for the sake of sharing, if I can, share our screen for our homepage, just so students can know where to visit in case you want more information about OMSS. But yeah, you know,
Matt, how would we get to your page?
Well, you just go to, the way I do it is, I'm kind of old school, and Kaylee, I just go to resources. If you look at resources right up over here and you click on resources and it says multicultural students, just click on that and that'll get you right to our page.
Terrific, thank you.
Yeah. So, you know, I encourage students to get involved. You know, I always share with students that their experiences outside of the classroom is part of their educational process as well. So if you want to build those important transferable skills, those different leadership skills, it's very important to get involved, you know, with a student organization or just networking with other students. But you know, I caution students. I always say, you know, make sure you learn the campus, learn the resources first before you think about just jumping in and joining a student organization, because that is a responsibility when you join, whether you're a general member or whether you're serving on an e-board. It's a little bit of work, and so I always, you know, tell students or try to advise students to get acclimated to the campus and get used to your class schedule and get used to being a college student first, but certainly get involved on campus and develop those necessary transferable skills so that when you graduate, you can add that to your resume and say, hey, I was a part of this organization. I was the president of this organization. I was the secretary of this organization. And that's how you serve, and that's how you develop those leadership skills. And that'll set you apart in a lot of instances from students that just went to class and earned a degree, but just didn't develop in that area as much. And so it's important to do that.
Okay. I'm going to shift back to Kaylee for a moment. Thank you, Matt. Before we do that, I will ask any of our participants, if you have questions for our panelists today, please pose them in the chat feature so we can answer those questions directly. Explore Ferris Live is a weekly program airing Tuesdays at 3:30, where we feature a different topic or different guests every week. I'll put in a plug right now for next week when we're featuring the College of Pharmacy at Ferris State and the Michigan College of Optometry. So if you're interested in learning more about either of those doctoral programs, I would encourage you to click on the Visit tab at the Ferris homepage and register for next week's Explore Ferris Live when those are the topics. Right now, though, I want to circle back to Kaylee. You mentioned something earlier that piqued my interest, and I'd like to know a little bit more about it, Kaylee. You had mentioned the work that you do in helping to secure internships and have interns for students that participate in your office. Could you expound on that a little bit?
Certainly. So we're really excited. We have a really strong partnership with the social work program here on campus. Every year we take on at least 1 to 2 interns from that program, but we've actually started a new partnership with the West Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, where we're helping to place upperclassmen students. So once you are at least a sophomore at Ferris, we help to get you ready for what is it, the expectations of having an internship, what are employers expecting, what are some of those skill sets that you need to be able to thrive in an internship, how do you make the most out of that internship experience. And the best part about this is that the organizations that we're working with have committed to having paid internship experiences for our students, which one, getting an internship in college is fantastic, a great way to expand on your professional experience, get a feel of what does your major actually feel like once you're actually in it, in the field. But to get a paid internship, well, that's where the moneymaker is. So we're really excited to partner with the CLACS office, the Center for Career Leadership, Volunteer and Activity Center.
Center for Leadership Activities and Career Services.
Thank you, Matt. So we work with that department. We also, like I said, work with the West Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We work with businesses across West Michigan. So we currently have placements available in Grand Rapids, Holland, Big Rapids, East Lansing, which I know gets more to the center of the state. But those are the main areas where we are being able to place students for paid internship experiences, starting again your sophomore year of college. And so we're really excited for that. It's a newer program. As part of that, we take students to an annual conference where you get to network with students, Latino students all across the state. So schools that are involved in there are Grand Valley, Aquinas, Calvin, GRCC, us, Michigan State, Wayne State is a part of it. So you still get a chance to build a strong Latinx professional network through the participation in that program. But you can join that program earlier than your sophomore year. Just know that we won't place you or help you get placed into a paid internship experience until at least your sophomore year, based upon the relationships and just making sure you're really prepared and have a solid first year. And then we'll get you transitioned into that. But a lot of students will start in our Promesa Scholars program and will transition into the Amigos de Promesa Scholars program, which is that internship placement program.
Kaylee, how valuable is being bilingual for some of these internships and career opportunities?
Oh, it's a huge asset. A number of these organizations are realizing that there's just a dramatic growth in the Latinx community, not just in higher ed and getting our degrees, but across the United States and having relationships to be able to communicate with South and Central America for those international business relationships. We really are a global society. And so having that cultural intelligence and that lens, not just to be able to communicate bilingually, but to understand those cultural values that other communities across the world have, will really set you apart, and employers are really impressed with that. Okay, and so great. That's some of the stuff that we specifically work on in that first year that you're in the program, as well as throughout the entire program model of the Promesa Scholars program.
Okay, thank you, Kaylee. Matt, you mentioned earlier when you were giving the overview of the many things that you do in your office and the different pillars, but one that I love is events. It seems like there's not a week on campus that goes by where there isn't some kind of event that's hosted by the Office of Multicultural Student Services. I will admit I was a little disappointed to miss the picnic this year, but you know, this pandemic has thrown us all a curve. But could you talk a little bit about the different events that your office gets involved with throughout the course of the year, perhaps in a little more detail?
Yeah. Typically throughout the school year, this past academic school year, we sponsored or co-sponsored over 45 plus cultural events and cultural celebrations through for the campus. And so, again, September 15th through October 15th is what we call Hispanic Heritage Month. And so we typically, for all of our cultural events, we typically try to have a panel discussion, bring in a keynote speaker, and talk about, some type of social justice topic. And so again, September 15th through October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month. November is considered Native American Heritage Month or American Indian Heritage Month. And January is MLK, our MLK celebration. We do an annual Freedom March that's well attended, not only by the students, but also faculty and staff. And we do that. And we also have a student tribute program. That's our tradition, where student organizations, individual students read poems. They do skits, all in honor of Dr. King and in paying tribute to Dr. King. And then in February is Black History Month. We do the same kind of programming model. We usually try to have some type of panel discussion, keynote speaker, and so on. And then March is considered Women's History Month. Same programming model, and then April is Asian Awareness Month, and so that's that's our typical lineup. But again, we have a programming model where we always say we program with the students and not just for the students, and so we always encourage students. And you don't have to belong to a student organization to come in and bring your ideas and suggestions of different events and activities that you may want to see happen on campus. But our whole goal is to help our campus community increase their cultural competency to a certain degree. And so we have, several points of pride, throughout the year that we're excited about too, Jason. And I just wanted to share with all our potential students is that this past academic school year, we sponsored over 3,000 plus students attended our cultural heritage events and celebrations. And then over 3,000 plus students, we try to track this information, has visited the office, whether they're just socializing, whether they have a certain or a specific need. But over 3,000 plus students have visited our office this past academic school year. Over 500 plus students visited our office for different support needs. Students come in, a lot of times when students arrive to campus or when they're on campus, they need to print items, they need to print assignments for class, and they don't know where to go to do that. And so we provide an opportunity for students to come in and fulfill their printing needs. They come in, we also give away school supplies to students, and so that's pretty popular. And then also we have meal cards. Sometimes students come in and they need a meal. We want to support them in every endeavor to be successful. And so, and then also we're happy, we trained over 300 plus college positive volunteers. And Jason, you're probably aware of our college positive volunteers.
Yeah.
That's actually part of our federal Gear Up program. We're able to train students that want to volunteer on campus, and we use those students to speak to potential students like we're doing today, to serve on student panels, and to do a host of different activities that they can volunteer on through our office. And then also students can also put that information on their resumes, so when they graduate, that can help pad their resume. So those are just a few things that we're just happy about and we're excited about. Again, we're very excited about supporting students in any way that we can.
Well, the College Positive Volunteer Program, from my own personal experience in the Office of Admissions, is incredibly valuable for prospective students visiting campus. We'll get a group of students that'll come to campus, and in my role, I'm going to share information about majors and scholarships and the university with them, and they're going to take a tour and see the facilities. They're going to have lunch at one of our dining facilities as well, but they want to hear from people that they can relate to. And I know this is hard to believe, not every 17-year-old that visits campus relates to me. But you put a panel of students in the room, and it's amazing the stuff that comes out of those conversations and the the information that's exchanged and shared. And that's what's really gratifying is I've watched your CPV's work and seen that connection happen where a student who maybe wasn't taking it that seriously or was enjoying the field trip is all of a sudden really engaged in their visit on campus because there's something now that has really interested them. And that's a really, really wonderful program. And when you were talking about the events you host, one of the things I love is it's every program that you host, every event has some sort of takeaway from it, and it's often really thought-provoking. And that's really valuable when you're trying to encourage diversity and understanding of it on a campus.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's well said. And, you know, oftentimes, you know, when I'm busy doing administrative work, which, you know, I love engaging and interacting with the students, but oftentimes our college positive volunteers are the ones that are presenting this information to potential students. And so they're going over to the conference room over in the Timmy Center, as you know, Jason, and they're sharing the same information that I'm sharing with students today, but it's coming from a student perspective. And again, those conversations and those conversations and presentations are better received in a lot of instances when it's coming from their peers. And so, yeah, we love our college positive volunteers.
Me too. Again, if our guests have any questions for our panelists, please use the chat feature to pose them. Kaylee, one thing that I've seen since you've been, you know, the Office of, or the Center for Latino Studies has been getting more and more active, and it's certainly growing. I've noticed it seems like a lot of the students that are involved in your office are not the students that you need to tell to do things. They are ready to get out there and try and wrangle more folks to come on in and get involved and share with them the good work that you're doing in the different organizations. Can you highlight how student-centered the work is out of your office?
Yeah, and actually, instead of me sharing it, I think Matt brought up a great point, and you brought up a great point. I mean, I didn't graduate that long ago, but
Me neither.
You just graduated last year, right, Matt?
That's right.
Matt and I are representing the 80s.
Oh, wait a minute.
But let me share a video about our Promesa Scholars program, why students get involved, you know, what that sense of that program has brought into their life. And you brought up Valeria, and I think she's actually featured in this video. A lot of the students that get involved in this program, you describe them as those go-getters that want to get everybody involved. But we actually see a number of our scholars or students that get involved, that's not typically their site. They're not typically that like outgoing leader that's always been out there or leading the charge in high school, but they find a new source of energy and a new source of power through participation in the programs that we're so excited to see come out. I was talking to a couple of students just earlier today that they're like, I never would have done this in high school. And it's just really cool to see that growth. So let me share that video and just share that student experience that you get through some of our programming.
Kaylee, we're not getting any audio.
Let me try again.
Without the Promesa Scholars program, my time here at Ferris, I feel like it would have been really different. I wouldn't have probably had that like backbone to hold me up through my first year.
If it wasn't for the Promesa Scholars program, I wouldn't have any friends, or I wouldn't have the confidence that I would have walking around campus. The center was very helpful. It gave me a good place to go if I needed to study. You know, my friends were usually there, so I'd catch them there. We'd do a little bit of studying. You know, and it wasn't all like, oh, my friends are here, I'm going to talk to them. It's like, oh, my friends are here, let's get to work. Because they're all motivated, and it's a good energy in the room that motivates you. I am Promesa Scholars proud because according to statistics, we're not supposed to be here. So being here makes me proud.
I am Promesa Scholars proud because I am able to express my heritage with people that I love and care for, and it helps me be myself here at school.
Awesome. So yeah, that's just a couple of words quick from some of our Promesa scholars. Valeria, as you had mentioned, again, works in the admissions office. She actually just started the Signets. She's the president of that new multicultural sorority that's coming to campus. And she was someone who was not very outspoken. She had a very, her sister was very prominent, also worked in the admissions office. She was very quiet and had a big shadow to fill. And she really opened up throughout this entire year and figuring out what are those strengths, what are those leadership qualities that she has, and really talks in our office about it's her involvement on campus. It's getting involved in OMSS, getting involved in the admissions office, in the CLACS office, in our office, getting exposure to these different opportunities that's helped her to really step up and step out as a leader, but not just be the leader that's out front, but the leader that helps bring others along that way. And I think that's just such a powerful point of the Promesa Scholars program. And that even though I facilitate a number of these portions of it, we actually call on our upperclassmen scholars to lead a number of our sessions. So I'm really more of a guide through an academic journey where our scholars are sharing those lessons learned. And so we stay very relevant and very on point. They got me into some new things. They always comment on my drip, the new drip I'm wearing, and so they really bring a whole new level to the program through the mentorship component of there. Each incoming freshman gets matched with a mentor. We try to match you directly to someone that's in your program. If we don't have that exact one-to-one match, we try to get someone that's in your college so you know what's going on in that college, so the College of Arts and Sciences, engineering, health professions, which has vastly been growing amongst our Promesa scholars. We try to get someone in there so they know who to contact, who's who in there, who's got the answers, help you get connected to professors that are going to understand your learning style. And so we talk to students that this professor may not be really good for you because you really like this hands-on. This professor is not as hands-on, this one's more lecturing. It helps students find that really good fit for the classroom. They have community service projects. We work with the Hispanic Center of Western Michigan to do a community cleanup and connect with, again, other students across different schools so that you're not just building your Ferris network, but you're building your statewide network, which is so important as well. One of the photos you saw was our Latinx networking night where we partnered with the West Michigan Latino network and the Latina network of West Michigan, where we had professional mentors that matched exactly what career aspect somebody wanted to go into. We found a Latino professional that's doing that right now in West Michigan to help you get connected there. A number of the students before our Amigos program started actually connected with those mentors and found paid internships, again, before this program was even started. So really, we help to get you exposed. We take students to different conferences. We took students to DC this year for the Excelencia in Education Conference. We usually go to East Lansing for the Dia de la Mujer Conference. It's really about building your community, both on and off campus for success.
Well, and one of the things that in my 17 years of working in college admissions that I always try to share with a prospective student is that any college or university experience is going to be what you make of it. And it's so important that you select an institution that affords you opportunities to make the most of it and to have the experiences you want to have. And certainly through your office and through the Office of Multicultural Student Services, there's many, many tremendous opportunities to get involved and make the most of the experience on campus. We've talked a lot about the support and resources for students getting involved with the Center for Latino Studies and with the Office of Multicultural Student Services. But I'd like to pose this question to both of you, and we'll start with Matt. Could you talk a little bit about the work that your office does to try and educate and inform and expose the rest of the campus community who might not be as involved with your offices to the issues that are important and what you'd like to share with them. When you look at Ferris, about 20% of our students are self-described minority students. That leaves about 80% who are not. And talk a little bit, if you would, Matt, about the work that you do to try and, make people aware of what's going on and the world that we work in and the people that we work with. They're going to be different, and there's a lot of opportunities to be exposed to that when you're on our campus.
Well, yes. In a nutshell, Jason, to answer that question, we have, 7 core values at the institution. And one of our core values is that being diversity. And diversity, I believe, is one of our core values because we know as an institution and as a society how important diversity work is. When our graduates graduate from Ferris State University and they go out into the workforce, they have to be prepared to work alongside of people from all sorts of backgrounds, from different backgrounds than they may be from. And so that's why we're always pushing diversity and inclusion. And so we do a variety of, my office alone, and I'm sure Kaylee probably does some as well. We this past academic school year, we've gone into the classroom, we've done over 45 diversity presentations at the request of different faculty, particularly in our FSUS curriculum. We go into the classroom and do those diversity presentations because we know it's very, very important that students, they have all the tools that they need when they graduate, and that they're culturally competent, and that they're able to go out and work in our workforce and be successful. And so we're always sending out emails for our entire student body to participate in the various cultural events and cultural heritage celebrations that we sponsor on campus, because it's not just important for oftentimes when I'm doing diversity presentations, I'm sharing with the group that it's not just important for our students from diverse backgrounds to attend those events. We want all students to attend those events and to increase their cultural competencies to make them a better student.
All right, thanks. And Kaylee, same question to you about the outreach to try and introduce culture and understanding elsewhere on the campus community and in the community at large through the Center for Latino Studies.
Yeah, a lot of our work is not just connecting the university to Latino communities, but connecting Latino communities to the university. So this is the relationship goes back and forth. And a lot of times students will get nervous about stepping into our office because we're the Center for Latino Studies, and they might think because they're not Latino, they can't come in. But that's not true. We're open to help and serve any and all students. We've got a great lounge area. We have a resource library filled with textbooks, with fun reads, with music and movies highlighting Latinx history and culture. One of my favorites is we've got a Latino slang dictionary. And so that's always fun to go through, and a Latino nicknames dictionary. So like sometimes Jesus is Chewy. And so like understanding some of those different dynamics of we hear someone called one thing, but they're also a different nickname. So we have a resource library to get to know the culture, not just from an academic lens, but from a personal lens too. We also help students. We have the Spanish Club that hangs out in our office. The Hispanic Student Organization meets in our office, and both of those organizations are open to any and all students. And so come hang out in our office, get to know the culture. There's no better way to understand different cultures and communities than just going there and asking questions, getting involved. And so we have just a great space for you to be able to do that. We have different programs that we put on. One of my favorite programs this past year, we brought in some community members that are from Puerto Rico and talked about what's going on with Hurricane Maria, what's that mean in our current campus climate, what happened with Renuncia Ricky, which was their governor, what did that mean, what's that mean for Ferris students, what's that mean for the Puerto Rican community on the island, what's that mean for the Puerto Rican community here on campus. And so really exploring beyond just the Mexican-centric narrative that sometimes exists in our state, and exploring what are all those different Latino communities and backgrounds. We've done some cool programming on the Afro-Latino community and continue to expand there. And so know that whatever your background is, and if you're interested in connecting or working with Latinx communities, you 100% can. I think this is the first time that we actually have, since I've been working here, that we have 2 Latina interns. Most of our interns come from different backgrounds that are really passionate about connecting with Latinx communities and getting that experience.
And I just wanted to add real quick, Jason, just to piggyback on what Kaylee just said. You know, we always push and encourage students to step outside their comfort zone when we're talking about diversity work. And so the fundamental foundation to diversity work is intentionality. You have to be intentional in your efforts to celebrate diversity. It's just not going to happen by happenstance. And so that's why we sponsor a lot of different, a variety and a lot of different activities throughout the course of the academic school year, so that students can practice that intentionality.
Thank you, Matt. And I see Kaylee has posted some information in the chat feature for anyone interested. Thank you for that, Kaylee. I can't believe how quickly these 50 minutes have passed by. As we start to think about wrapping up here, I would ask, are there topics that you wanted to get out there today, Matt or Kaylee, that we haven't touched on, or share any final comments with our guests today? Matt?
Well, I just, if any closing comments that I would have is just that I can't stress enough how passionate we are about the work that we do. And I think, you know, in that vein, I can speak for Kaylee. I see her passion every day in the work that she does in her office and her department. And we collaborate on a lot and support each other in the work that we do. But I found my passion a long time ago, and that's student development. And so my entire staff is dedicated to the development and to the success of the students that we have on campus. And like Kaylee said earlier, you know, it's not just for our minority student populations or underrepresented populations. We're here to support all students. And so, but encouraging student success. And then in closing, seeing students develop, go in from that introverted student and develop into student leaders is just something that I get a kick out of every academic school year. We have a lot of students that frequent the office that come in and they're shy, they're introverted, but just by their interactions and us pushing them to stretch themselves, I've watched them matriculate and go from being introverted to being student leaders and presidents of organizations on campus, and that's just, I just get a kick out of that. So we enjoy the work that we do. Education is important. You know, it's a famous quote by a famous man, and I'll probably chop it up, but Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. And I think that's true. And so I encourage you all, everyone that's on this Zoom call, to get your education, and hopefully you come to Ferris. And if you do come, we're going to have things in place for you to be successful.
Dr. Cheney, thank you so much.
I guess I would wrap up and just, again, resonate on what I said earlier, is that you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Whatever you choose as your next step, know that you've got a whole history of people behind you excited to help you and support you. We have that same energy here at Ferris State University. Whether you've got questions about, like, is this the right fit? Is this not the right fit? How do I make some of these decisions? What does that actually look like to get involved? What are some of those requirements? Know that you have many staff members here at Ferris State very eager to reach out and help and support you. And I think that's one of the things that makes Ferris unique in the creation of some of these spaces, like the Office of the OMSS, the Center for Latino Studies, the LGBTQ+ Center. Many of the other centers that we've created was with this intention and passion to help serve you, to help support you, and help you to realize some dreams that maybe you don't realize right now that you have, but as you continue to grow as a college student, those come out more and more. And so reach out to us, let us know how we can help you, what questions can we answer. And remember, pa'lante, siempre pa'lante, forward, always forward.
Kaylee, thank you so much. We want to thank all of our guests for joining us here today. Especially want to thank our panelists, Dr. Cheney from the Office of Multicultural Student Services, Kaylee Moreno-Burke from the Center for Latino Studies. This presentation has been recorded and it will be archived, available at the Ferris State University homepage. Click on the Visit tab and then click on watch our presentations and campus tour, and there's many virtual events that have been archived there, and this one will be included there in the near future. Next week on Explore Ferris Live at 3:30, we will have representatives from the Ferris State University College of Pharmacy and the Michigan College of Optometry at Ferris State joining us to talk about those professional graduate programs. But thank you all for joining us here today, and a reminder to all prospective students that if you're looking for specific or general information from the university, we have a lot of ways you can connect with us, even during this period where we're still staying home, though it's loosening up a little bit in some areas. But if you go to the Visit tab at the Ferris State University homepage, you can set up one-on-one virtual appointments with members of our admissions staff. You can also set up a virtual appointment with staff from the financial aid office. So there's lots of resources and people available who are standing by ready to help you and answer your questions. It's so important when you're selecting an institution that you focus on what's really important. Does it have the academic major to help me realize my career goal? And is it the environment that's going to allow me to flourish, not just academically, but socially as well? Because finding a place is such important. Finding a good fit is so important, and know that it's going to be what you make of it. So put in the effort to visit the schools you're considering, talk to the people that you have questions for, ask those questions, because here at Ferris State, I know everyone will be more than happy to answer your questions and direct you to information and resources to help you realize your dreams and be successful. Thank you all for joining us today on Explore Ferris Live.
Thank you.